Have you ever walked into a room and felt a chill crawl up your spine as if the very air whispers secrets of the past? Today, we embark on an eerie exploration of the world's creepiest places. These are not just spots that send shivers down your spine, they are portals to the histories and mysteries that unsettle the bravest of hearts. We'll journey through 5 haunting locales, each with its own ghostly presence and chilling tales waiting to be told. Join us as we delve into the shadows of these forsaken places. In the heart of Japan, a village lies overrun, not by people, but by dolls. Nestled in the valleys of Shikoku, Japan, lies the small and seemingly tranquil village of Nagoro. This village, however, is unlike any other. It's a place where the line between the animate and the inanimate blurs, where dolls stand in for human beings who once populated the area. Over the years, as residents moved away or passed on, the village's population dwindled to a mere handful. But the absence of human presence is eerily compensated by the presence of dolls, each meticulously crafted to represent the departed villagers. The architect behind this uncanny valley is a local artist named Tsukimi Ayano. She returned to Nagoro to discover a community vanishing with time. Struck by the loneliness and the quiet, Ayano began crafting these dolls, replicating residents who once filled these streets, schools, and fields. Each doll is placed in settings that were once a part of the villagers' daily lives: fishermen by the river, students in classrooms, and farmers in the fields. These dolls, made from straw and dressed in clothes belonging to their human counterparts, hold a haunting resemblance to the people they represent. As one wanders through Nagoro, the silence of the village is profound. The only sounds are the rustling of leaves and the distant flow of the river, but the stillness is punctuated by the sight of lifelike figures. They populate the entire village, from benches in the bus stop to doorways of abandoned homes, creating a tableau both serene and surreal. The impact of these silent sentinels is chilling. They sit and stand forever frozen in time, their glassy eyes capturing a semblance of life that once was. The effect is both beautiful and disconcerting. Ayano's dolls have turned Nagoro into a canvas, reflecting the memories and the losses of a fading rural Japan. With eyes that seem to follow your every move, does Nagoro feel like a memorial or a scene from a horror story? Beneath the bustling streets of Paris lies a dark underworld, home to the remains of over 6 million souls. Welcome to the Catacombs of Paris, an eerie subterranean labyrinth that stretches beneath the City of Lights. Originally, these were mere limestone quarries mined to build the iconic structures that today define the Parisian skyline. However, by the late 18th century, Paris faced a critical issue with its overflowing cemeteries. To solve this, the quarries were transformed into ossuaries in 1786, providing a final resting place for millions. As one descends into the catacombs, the air grows cool and the light fades, leaving only the dim illumination of the occasional bulb. Here, the narrow, winding tunnels stretch into the darkness, a silent network of passageways beneath the vibrant city life above. These tunnels are closely lined with skulls and bones, some stacked neatly, others arranged in ornate, macabre decorations. Patterns, crosses, and even heart shapes are formed from femurs and skulls, a chilling yet fascinating artistic expression of death. Walking through these corridors, one is struck by the sheer scale of human remains that surround them. Each bone, each skull has its own story, a silent testament to the lives once lived. The atmosphere is heavy with a sense of timelessness and decay. The air is still, thick with the earthy scent of the underground. It's an overwhelming experience, where the line between the past and the present blurs, enveloping visitors in a cloak of history and mortality. The feeling of claustrophobia is palpable as the narrow passages force visitors to huddle closer, the walls seemingly closing in with every step. The silence in the catacombs is profound, broken only by the soft echoes of footsteps or the distant drip of water. It's a silence that speaks volumes, filled with the whispers of the ages. As you navigate through the skeletal maze, do you feel the weight of history or the presence of the departed? The catacombs of Paris not only challenge our perceptions of death and remembrance, but also invite us to ponder the stories of those who came before us, lying in the eternal quiet beneath one of the world's most lively cities. Just south of Mexico City, an island whispers tales of tragedy and the eerie protection from a drowned spirit. Welcome to the Island of the Dolls, a place where the line between eerie legends and unsettling reality blurs into a haunting tableau. The story begins with a tragic incident. A young girl drowned under mysterious circumstances close to this isolated stretch in the Xochimilco canals. Overcome with grief and driven by forces we might never fully understand, the island's caretaker, Don Julian Santana Barrera, embarked on a chilling mission. He began hanging dolls on the trees of the island. It's said he did this to both honor the young girl's spirit and protect himself and the island from further malignance. But the tale grows darker, as Don Julian himself met his end by drowning in the same waters as the girl. As you wander through the tangled wilderness of the island, you're confronted with the grotesque spectacle of countless dolls. These are not pristine playthings, but weathered relics ravaged by time. Their plastic skins are cracked, and many are missing limbs. Eyes hollow, they stare blankly through the dense foliage, suspended in eternal vigil. The sight of these figures, distorted by the elements and tangled in the creeping vines, creates a viscerally disturbing panorama. The atmosphere here is thick with an unsettling quietness, a silence so profound it feels almost tangible. This stillness is occasionally pierced by the soft creaks and groans of the aging dolls as they sway gently in the breeze, a macabre symphony played by the island's eerie inhabitants. Visitors often speak of a palpable sense of sorrow that permeates the air, a melancholy that clings as tightly as the ivy on the trees. It raises a poignant question: what truly haunts this place? Is it the spirits of the departed, or the sorrowful memories of their untimely demise? Surrounded by the decaying faces of dolls, does fear or sadness prevail in the heavy air? Off the Venetian coast, Poveglia Island holds a history of death, hosting plague victims and an asylum for the mentally ill. Nestled between Venice and Lido in the Venetian lagoon, Poveglia Island might seem like a picturesque spot from afar. However, its past is anything but serene. Originally used as a quarantine station, this small island became a temporary holding area for the sick and dying during the bubonic plague outbreaks that swept through Europe. It is estimated that over the centuries, tens of thousands of bodies were brought here, their ashes enriching the soil with a macabre fertility. But the island's dark history doesn't end with the plague. In the early 20th century, Poveglia was repurposed into an asylum for the mentally ill. This new chapter added layers of anguish to its already grim resume. The asylum operated until the 1960s, and it was rumored that a doctor there tortured and experimented on patients, driven mad by the ghosts of plague victims before eventually throwing himself from the island's bell tower. Speaking of which, the bell tower, part of an old church, still stands today as a silent sentinel overlooking the island. It's a crumbling yet stoic figure surrounded by dilapidated buildings that tell tales of despair. These abandoned structures are slowly being reclaimed by nature, as ivy creeps over the faded and peeling walls. Visitors and paranormal investigators who have braved the island tell chilling tales. Many report hearing whispers in the corridors of the abandoned asylum, seeing shadows flit through the rooms, and even feeling unseen hands touching them. It's said that the air itself feels heavy with sorrow and the weight of unquiet spirits. Is the chill you feel the echo of the tormented souls that once roamed here? As we emerge from the shadows of these haunted locales, we carry with us not just stories but emotions stirred by these encounters. What is it about these places that seeps so deeply into our psyche, leaving us with a chill that lingers long after our visit? It's undeniable that history plays a crucial role. Each site, from the eerie silence of the Catacombs in Paris to the unsettling stillness of Poveglia Island, is steeped in a past that whispers tales of sorrow and darkness. These stories are not merely relics of the past, but are etched into the very essence of these locations, making the air heavy with the weight of the unseen. But there's more to it than just history. Legends and folklore wrap these sites in a shroud of mystery. Take for instance the haunting visage of countless dolls peering from the trees on the island of the Dolls in Mexico. These legends, whether rooted in truth or born from the minds of those who've passed before us, play a pivotal role in crafting the atmosphere that so deeply affects us. And then, there's the human element, the psyche. Our minds are powerful interpreters of our surroundings, painting ordinary settings with the brush of our deepest fears and anxieties. What makes a place creepy to us? Often, it's the silent stirring of our own fears, the unsettling feeling of something just out of sight, the unknown that lurks in the corner of our vision. In the end, is it the stories, the setting, or our own fears that breathe life into the ghosts of the past?